Hey, everybody, I want to introduce you to Robyn and Nathan, and they are double stackers, and they're up $20,000 in under 20 days when we started working together. And since then, they've continued to land awesome clients, including one that we just talked about a second ago, right before we started recording this conversation. So Robyn and Nathan, kind of jump in, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you're working on, and kind of what your business is all about.
Sure. Yeah. Well, we've kind of relabeled ourselves a little bit. We were really, I would tell people, oh, I'm a graphic and web designer, and so that kind of put me in this little box. But so now when people ask, what do we do? We're like, we're marketing consultants because we provide a wide variety of services. We really like working with small businesses and entrepreneurs, just to strategize and help plan their marketing and their online presence, mostly digital marketing. And our clients are awesome. We work with some nonprofits and businesses that, that have a cause. We really enjoy, doing those types of things.
That's awesome. Have you noticed that the type of client that you're working with has kind of changed since you sort of rebranded yourself?
Definitely.
I think so. Me doing this a lot has changed.
Well, Lee, how we really started was beginning a couple of years ago. We saw ourselves as professional amateurs, that we had skills to offer, we had services and value, but we weren't quite sure how to make that obvious and make that plain. And so we would reach out to people like us, people starting a new business, or maybe they've had a business for a while, but they kind of don't really know what they're doing. And we can give them that aha moment. And we can swoop in, help them out. And then, the rising tide raises all boats kind of a thing. And then that worked okay for several years. We were able to transition away from a lot of other things. We've always been very, very busy, very active with all kinds of things. We were able to consolidate into a true business a couple years ago, and we were doing fine, but fine wasn't good enough. We wanted to figure out how to just push beyond this cap that we weren't able to do. And then COVID hit, and 2020 completely changed everything. And to be completely honest, we did okay in COVID, but the thing is, nobody, that's not sustainable, especially with everyone's businesses struggling so much in the national economy and all of that. We knew it was a matter of time, that even though we're okay right now, that we need to be able to push beyond. It was now or never. And so it was actually like an answer to prayer. Just a week before we learned about DoubleStack, Robyn and I were talking. We're like, we need to find a way to change something up. What we're doing is, we're not doing anything wrong, but we need to do it better. We need to find a way to take what we're already doing and just change gears and go into overdrive. And that was what really made it happen for us.
Well, it was really tough because, we've been doing this a while. And so I was like, I know what I'm doing. People are not listening to me. And so what really helped, DoubleStack really helped our proposals and how we were presenting them, because it was kind of like, we think you should do this. Do you want to? And that's just not really an effective way to communicate confidence and that we knew what we were doing, So we completely just changed the way that we took a lot of the services that we were already providing and presented them in such a way that was like, this is what you need. And I turned a couple of people away for the first time in a while, and because I saw the void of time, that all my time was going to go into it, and really I wasn't going to be able to fully help them. And I was very, I was very polite or whatever, but I'm like, I don't think it's a good fit. And then, of course, more came along, and we were able to work with someone that was a good fit. And that time would have been gone had I, just said yes, because I hate saying no. But, I like to help people. That's really what got us into this, is we want to see businesses succeed. and do well. And so, and DoubleStack also helped us with some services, like filling in the gaps to better be able to provide things, like the brand visibility and stuff like that, like better able to provide things that we, we were doing, but it could be better. Like
I remember when we first were on the phone call talking, like originally before you joined DoubleStack, and then we kind of got towards the end of the conversation, and I think I remember you saying something like, we weren't really thinking we were gonna like do anything. We just kind of wanted to talk. But now it seems like maybe we want to kind of be part of all of this. You remember that conversation?
I do. Well, because we were doing okay, and we have 3 kids, and we're just like, I mean, it's an investment, but it was well worth it, because, I mean, 20 days, like you said, it was more than worth it.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, so that was kind of our hesitation, but the more we talked to you, we're like,
I know one thing that was said during the initial conversation over the phone was that even though we were doing okay, like we knew what we were doing, but we felt like we didn't know what we were doing, and that we wanted to do business like it was on purpose. That we didn't want to stumble into success, and like just being honest with ourselves, we were like, we don't know how we got to this point. Like, we're doing everything right, but it was guided just more along ethical lines of be honest and treat people fairly, and do to another business owner what we would want other business owners to do to us.
Yeah.
And that had been fantastic. That had kept us afloat, and we weren't really struggling. But to go to that next level, we were missing some type of initiative, some type of blueprint that we lacked, that we weren't able to just take that extra step. And because really you do provide a lot of education, a lot of good knowledge, a lot of good information, but the application is where you succeed or fail. You have to know how to use all of the tools that you have at your disposal. You have to know how to apply your skills and how to present yourself, how to put it all together. Like, I don't like assembling furniture for that reason. Like, I know how to, but it just, if the directions aren't clear, or they're in another language that I can't, like, I would, it is a blueprint will make or break any project. And what you provided was something that we were able to just immediately apply to ourselves, apply to our business, and the results were almost overnight.
That is so true. Like, my favorite part was how I'm like, I love the way that you organize the membership area, because it's like, I could, as an analyst type person, so I could overanalyze the heck out of everything, but like the way that you laid it out, I was able to take pieces, immediately apply them, and then come back and go deeper into it. And I really like that, because I mean, we've invested in some educational stuff before, and it's like, okay, well, now that I need to block out 6 months of my life to learn this stuff before I can actually use it, is kind of how it felt. But with DoubleStack, it was immediately, you could immediately apply it to what we were doing. Like, I didn't have to pause my business in order to improve my business, which was great, because I could not pause my business. So, because we're full time, like, this is what we do, so it's not, and it was a little scary, right? Because we're like, okay, we're going to shift everything, and we're really hoping that our feeling about this guy is right. He knows what he's talking about, because you made sense to us, and we're like, hopefully it makes sense to all of our clients, and things like that. And so it was a little bit, the shift in mindset was really, like, your what you were saying and like how to apply it was super simple, laid out very well, not hard to apply. Changing the way I was thinking was the difficult part, I think.
Cool. What do you feel like that's probably one of the biggest takeaways that you got out of it, in terms of like that mindset shift and leadership, and kind of showing your clients something that's, hey, follow me, as opposed to trying to ask the client what they want you to do, and then you just got to do what they say?
Yes. Yeah. I felt like, those teenage movies back in like the 90s and the 2000s with the goofy girl with the glasses and then she finds out how awesome she is kind of thing. Like that's kind of the comparison I would make, is like we had all this stuff and we knew what we were doing, but we just lacked the confidence and the mindset to really be able to actually, and it didn't just help us, it helped our clients. Our clients are seeing better results, which is really important. We can't stay motivated if we were just in it to do, there are easier things to do for money, like than doing what we do. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So we really wanted to be able to make a difference. And now we are able to also contribute and help because of the revenue that it's brought in. We're able to contribute to our community, to our church, to people who need help, and really it's improved our lives, but it's also, I think, helped a lot of people around us.
Mm-hmm. In fact, I remember when we first started working together and everything, you mentioned you had kind of a special family situation, and that it would sure be great if you could, make some more revenue to kind of make, I'm getting all emotional thinking about this. I have a hard time thinking about this when I think about you guys, but it just seems like it's made a really big difference in your life and in your family's lives. And it just seems like life is different now for you guys, and that's really cool.
So I really think, and this might get you more emotional, what's really exciting is that, I don't mind sharing that we have a son that has significant special needs, and we really wanted to be able to do more for him. Well, we are in the process now, because we were able to pay off debt and that we were going into because we were trying to help our son and save. We're in the process of buying a home. And because we've been renting for years, and we rent a nice house. I mean, it's not bad, but like it doesn't have some of the special things you can't do in a rental that would really help him. And so now we're going to be able to buy a house and really provide a better life for all of our kids. So it's really cool. It's really cool. Like what you do made a really big impact in our lives. And so we were really appreciative. And that's why we wanted to do this interview, because we really we appreciate, it's a service, and like we paid you to do it, whatever, but really, like when it comes down to it, it's so much beyond that though. Like really helped our lives, and I think impacted the rest of our lives and our kids' lives too. So we thank you for that, Lee.
Well, thank you. That's so awesome to hear you guys talk about that. And it's been such a blessing to be able to work with you guys. And the only downside, like from time to time, I'll talk about you guys. In fact, just on Sunday after church, I was over at Chipotle, and a friend of mine walked by and said, "Hey, so what are you guys doing these days?" I haven't seen him in a long time. And I started telling him about DoubleStack, and then you guys came to mind, and I started like tearing up at the front of the Chipotle. And I was like, "Oh, good grief. What is all?" Because I normally don't do that. I mean, I'm normally a normal person, just walking around having fun. And all of a sudden I get all emotional now thinking about that whole situation. I have to rein it in. And so I don't know, it's just been such a blessing to see you guys have such success with all of this, and then the stories that you've told me about all of it and everything. It's just awesome to be working with you guys.
We feel the same way. We love the program. Anytime I'm like, somebody's, kind of in our situation, I'm like, man, go check out DoubleStack. Just do it. That's what I would tell people. Just take that step forward. I mean, we knew we needed to do something, and I think a lot of people do. They know they need to do something because, let's face it, just doing web design and stuff like that, it's not sustainable anymore. There's too much out there for alternatives, and you're not really, there's too much competition between all the builders and different things like that. People need more than that. And so we just did it, and yeah, were we a little worried? Yeah, we were, but we felt right about it. We knew in our gut it was the right choice, and we're really happy we did it. So
that's awesome. Well, maybe just to wrap things up, what is like a piece of advice you might give to somebody just to kind of maybe they were the way that you were when you first started, and now you're kind of seeing what it's like on the other side. Like, what would you say to somebody that might have been kind of where you were like 6 months ago or something like that, and might be thinking about making some changes?
Me? Okay. I would say I mean, when I like basically just expounding upon what I just said, like just do it. Just make the move, because if you don't, you know, you're going to miss out. You are, you know, and like I said, the people in your community and your family and things, I mean, they're going to be missing out too. I would just say, just take that step forward and do it. If you feel stuck, if you feel like you are, not able to fully service your clients and really and have them listen to you, that DoubleStack is it. Like, do it. That's all I would say.
Well, that's awesome. Well, what a great conversation. It was awesome talking to you guys. That's pretty much all I got for right now. And so high five to you guys. Woo!
Well, I wanted to say one thing though.
Okay.
You and I talked initially, and
sorry.
There you go.
No worries.
I'll call him back in a second.
When we talked initially, we talked about the struggle between how do we get paid what we want to be paid, but but deliver something that's worth it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a real confidence issue if you've been charging a certain rate and you know what the market will support, and you know that your clients can't pay more than what you're delivering. And, you know, because that invisible hand of the market, it will just kind of set in place. And so you overcharge, then you lose the client. But if you undercharge, then you go hungry
and get resentful.
How do you do that? And so you definitely provided the knowledge and the information.
Yeah.
But in order to take that first step, there's a level of confidence that anybody needs to achieve. And to achieve that, you have to understand that the secret sauce is already you. If you take a look at what you're doing, and if your quality is already as good as the people that are doing the 5-6 figure, amounts, but your money isn't there, you're still the best. You are the best if your quality is there. Now, you may not be having the same outcomes, but that's where DoubleStack comes in. If you can look at your quality and you can say that you are objectively similar, maybe not the same, but you're similar to all these other people who are succeeding, then you are already the best. You deserve to be paid as the best. You deserve fair compensation for being the best. If your quality is not up to par, is not where these other people are, then figure out what they're doing. And when you start doing what the best people are doing, then you're bettering yourself and you become the best. But either way, you're either already the best or you're on your way to becoming the best. And when you access that idea, the confidence is there, and then you just got to take that step and go.
That's a really good point. I'm really glad you brought that up, because a big thing that we haven't really talked much about is we have a whole community of double stackers that are supporting you. Like, we have a whole mastermind group.
That's true.
Where we can bop ideas around and share secret sauce with each other and all that good stuff, and become the best, like you were just talking about.
Well, that group is awesome, and we love that we can continue, to just hop in there and kind of read other people's questions and see the responses and ask our own questions, and then of course, being able to, what a huge value, and I can't believe I didn't mention it, was being able to randomly have a problem and email you and be like, help, please look at this. I don't feel confident enough to send this proposal, and you're like, hey, here's these ideas. And I'm looking at Nathan. I remember with the first project that we landed, I'm like, why did I not think of these things? Like, how, and so it really, that contributed to the mind shift, that mindset shift, was just seeing your response and the different ideas that you had. It was so helpful. So helpful.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much. I don't want to cut anybody off. Do you have anything else you want to say? You feeling good?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Well, awesome. Well, here's the high five then.
Okay, yeah.